Hello everyone, this is Crystal Thies, the LinkedIn Ninja. Today I'm going to share a very special ninja trick with you. It's a trick that I've not really seen too many other LinkedIn experts share. It's a trick that I learned years ago and have shared every once in a while. During a training last week, I realized I should be sharing it a heck of a lot more, and I promised to put a video out on it. One of the questions that I get a lot is, can you search LinkedIn for people within a particular age range? You're looking for people of a certain age that would be of more interest in the products or services that you're trying to sell. If we go and we look at LinkedIn's advanced search and we look at all of the search filters that LinkedIn has, very clearly there is no age filter. Even in Sales Navigator, there is no age filter. You can search by years of experience up to 10 plus, but there is no age filter, which makes it very difficult. So can you search on LinkedIn by age? Actually, yeah, you can, kinda. It's not foolproof, it's not perfect, but it can definitely get you some people within an age range that you would want to look at as potential clients or prospects. So when you're looking to find people by age on LinkedIn, you have to do a little bit of math first. You have to figure out first, what is the age range that you're looking for? You can't pinpoint a specific age, but you can get a pretty good age range that you could look for. So in this example I'm going to show you, we want people as old as 60, as young as 50. Now, once we figured out that's the age range we want, then we have to do some calculations to figure out, well, what year were those people born? And so those people were born in 1960 to 1970. Then we need to do one more calculation and figure out, well, when would they have started college? Now, of course, people do go back to college older years, but most people do tend to go to college right out of high school. So they would be 18. So 1978 to 1988. So this is the one other key part of being able to find people by age, is that you really can only look for people who have gone to college, and you can really only find people who have chosen to put on their LinkedIn profile that they went to that college, and they also included the years that they attended that college. Now, there are a lot of people, especially of the older generation, who don't bother putting the years when they put their education on their profile because they don't want to be aged out, but there are some who do. And as we'll take a look here, you'll see that you can get a pretty good, decent prospect pool by using this hidden search. So we're not going to find it in the people search. Where you're going to find it is if you click on the search button. Along the top here are the different things that you can search for. You want to select schools. Now, pick school in the area where you're at. Usually might make more sense to start with the largest one. So I'm going to go ahead and pick University of Cincinnati as the largest. In my area, on the face of it, this looks like any other page, right? Any other company page. But if you scroll down and you look on the far left, there is a tab that school pages, university pages have that other pages don't, and that's called alumni. So if I click on that, what it's going to do is going to tell me how many alumni, people who say that they've gone to the University of Cincinnati, are on LinkedIn. And it gives me the opportunity here to put in the years, the start years and the end years. So if we start with the 1978 of the oldest, when they would have started, and we go to 1988 of the youngest, we're going to get a different pool. So here we have almost 27,000 alumni, but that's not where we have to stop. We also have some other filters. We can look for where they live, where they work, what they do, what they studied, what they're skilled at, how they're connected. And so ideally, I always recommend let's focus on the second degree, because that means you have at least one connection in common. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And now that gives me 41, almost 4,200 alumni. Well, now maybe I want them in my particular area. So I'm going to say I want them in Cincinnati, since a lot of alumni tend to stay, if they're from that area, stay in that area where they live. Now I'm to 3,300. That's still a really good number of prospects. So if I scroll down, LinkedIn is actually going to give me a list of those people. So these are people who are connected to someone I already know, who went to college between 1968 and 78, and who live in Cincinnati. And so what you'd want to do, of course, you don't want to just go through and connect here. You want to review and determine, are these appropriate people? So do a right click, open up their profile in a new tab so that you keep that page nice and clean, and then review the profile to determine. You can look at, well, who are the mutual connections if you want to go and get an introduction, or you can just simply verify by looking at their experience if they fit in with the criteria that you are looking for, and then you can invite them to connect with a custom message that focuses on a benefit that they would have to connect with you other than becoming a client, other than your expertise. That's the real trick in cold connections to use LinkedIn for lead generation, is that you have to focus on the WIFT. What's in it for them? There has to be a value to them other than you selling something to them, or they're not going to accept your invitation to connect. Or if they do and you hit them up right away with a message trying to set up a consultation, they're going to disconnect from you. Basically, though, you do here have a pool of people who meet the age range. Now, some of them may be a little bit older. People don't always go to school, right out of college, but for the most part, most of them should be falling in that age range. And then, if you want to get more narrow, you can play around with it. You just have to do a little math. If they're this age today, when would they have been born? When would they have most likely gone to college? And there you have it. You've been able to search for people by age. So I hope you've enjoyed this little ninja trick. Please follow me, connect with me. I share these all the time, and hopefully it has helped you have greater success with LinkedIn.